Alabama. What are the must-haves for them here in 2025? New segment we're going to do here for a couple of different teams leading up to the college football season. I want to talk about what these teams must have on offense, on defense, and then we'll do a quick culture observation. Can't speak too authoritatively on culture because we're not in the building, but just kind of the vibe we're getting talking to people and just overall coming out of last season and the way people in that building are talking about their own football team to the media. So before we do that, though, Alabama fans, make sure you are subscribed. If you want more Crimson Tide content, the best way to let us know that is by subscribing to the channel, and pretty much creates the demand for us to supply for. So appreciate y'all being locked in. Thinking about the must-haves for Alabama on offense. You can go a lot of different ways. I think it really just comes down to reliability at quarterback. Notice what I said. Not better at quarterback, not a better star at quarterback or more star power at quarterback. I'm talking reliability because Jalen Milroe, for all of his faults last year, which we have highlighted many, he was not straight up a bad quarterback. He was just inconsistent. I never knew if I was watching a Bama game, are we going to see Jalen Milroe from the first half of the Georgia game where he looks like a Heisman Trophy winner? Or are we going to see Jalen Milroe that played against Oklahoma where he just give the football away to the other team like it's Christmas Day? Are we getting that Jalen Milroe? And the tough part, if you're Kalen DeBoer trying to game plan your offense, you're like, I don't know either. So for Ty Simpson, the task isn't be better than Jalen Milroe. The task is be consistent, be reliable. If you're going to be a B- quarterback, okay, that's fine. But just be a B- every single week so we know how to call the game for you. So we know to dial up extra run plays or to dial up different kind of quick game or whatever it looks like. We can work with reliable if we're Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. I promise you. They've done that before and they will work with that. Now defensively, kind of to go hand in hand with what they have on offense, I think for Alabama, the must-have is vintage Alabama pass rush. Notice vintage, not good. I'm talking vintage. I'm talking like you drop the film on any given game week on a Tuesday getting ready to prep for Bama, and you say, oh boy, I have to add an extra back here to help out on a LT Overton. Oh, we got to, hey, they can get pressure with 4. We're going to have to make sure we're on our P's and Q's here. If your defensive line can take over, you win. Like Ohio State, when did they become the Avengers? Got the ball to Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, that's why they won the national championship in some sense for sure. But look at the final numbers. Ohio State had the number 1 sack rate in America because in the college football playoff, they turned it on. Okay? And you're saying, well, JD, that's kind of asking a lot of Alabama, right? To look like vintage Bama, Saban's Bama on the defensive line, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But aren't you asking a lot too as a fan? You want a national championship, right? This is what it's going to take. Because those vintage Bama teams, it didn't matter who was playing quarterback, bro. I mean, you could bank on the haircut. That was about it. Every single guy had the Bama banks. Jacob Coker, A.J. McCarron, didn't matter. If you had a vintage defensive line to go with those Bama bangs at quarterback, you were going to be in good shape. Ty Simpson, no different. You know the haircut? Defensive line, if they are taking over the game, then you can give him some progress or some room to progress, I should say, as the season wears on. So this is not me dismissing Ty Simpson. This is me telling you, as the season wears on, if a defensive line is going to be your calling card all year long for Bama, you're going to give Ty Simpson a chance then to grow into the quarterback you need him to be. And if he's consistent, then you're already in a good spot from there. So now the culture part is interesting. We haven't seen it yet, but what my gut is saying is that the culture is in a settled spot. All right? Like, I think that last year was kind of a feeling out process for everyone involved, staff and players, but especially players. You were committed to Nick Saban. So when you stuck around with Kalen DeBoer, yeah, you committed to DeBoer to a sense. I think for the most part, though, last year you were really committed to Alabama and that logo and what it had been. If you're still there, though, you are all the way bottom to Kalen DeBoer's way of doing things. You are all the way bottom to that staff. And so I think what that's going to mean for Alabama now is everyone on the same page. When you're on the same page, good things happen, right? There's no way to say that differently. And last year when Alabama lost games, 2 out of the 3 that we're looking at, outside of the bowl game, I guess is your third, Bama just was clearly not on the same page. Culturally, I mean, X's and O's is another conversation, but like you should never lose to Vandy. You should never lose to that Oklahoma team. Never lose to that Michigan team where they're throwing for double-digit yards. You can't even win that football game to salvage some pride. Like, I think now you've washed all that out of your system and everyone on the same page, same mission, extra chip on the shoulder. I think that's a good thing for Bama. So those are the must-haves for me for Alabama here in 2025, and I'm excited to see what they are here because I think it's going to be very, very intriguing for the rest of the college football world.